Time to shine. Can Cade Klubnik get it done and run back into the Heisman Trophy race? It's college football smothered and covered, and of course, we are powered by Locked On.
You are Locked On College Football, smothered and covered, with your host, Barrett Sallee. Your one-stop shop for everything college football. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Hey, welcome in. Thank you for making this your first listen every single day. Sorry about the little delay in getting the show up. Had some things to do this morning, but it is all good. Again, thank you for making this your first listen. Today's show brought to you by FanDuel. Place your first $5 bet, and you'll get started with $200 guaranteed in bonus bets. That's right, $200 in bonus bets guaranteed on your first $5 wager. Go to FanDuel.com. That is FanDuel.com. So on Thursday, we do Time to Shine. That is, of course, where we tell you whose time it is to shine. Very, very creative. But, you know, this slate for games this weekend is... it's not that attractive. Texas A&M, Missouri, that's a ranked-on-ranked game. But, I mean, do we really care about it all that much? Yeah, maybe on the Missouri side. Eli was on this show last week, talked a little bit about fixing his defensive issues, fundamentals in terms of tackling. But really, I mean, it's not a huge game. Of course, when you say it's not a big weekend in college football, all hell breaks loose. So prepare for that. This sort of goes into Time to Shine, our first player. And that's Cade Klubnik for Clemson. I know he's been sort of written off after the loss to Georgia. I know he got written off after a subpar season last season, at least by Clemson standards. They played Florida State. And again, that's Florida State. Clemson's going to roll. Whatever. Okay, yeah, maybe you're fine. Maybe you're right. After what we saw from Florida State last week against SMU, you probably are. But peel back the curtain a little bit on Clemson. What was the problem with Cade Klubnik last season? It was that he didn't stretch the field. And with Garrett Riley there as the offensive coordinator, after the success that Garrett Riley had at TCU, it was shocking. It was really shocking. I thought Cade Klubnik was different. In fact, I think a lot of other people did as well. I was in the building when Cade Klubnik was a freshman at Mercedes-Benz Stadium on Labor Day night when they played Georgia Tech. DJ was still there. Everybody was talking about Cade. And then when he came in during the second half, the roar among the Clemson fans was unbelievable. And he hasn't lived up to that. It was almost like, hey, well, DJ wasn't that guy. He wasn't Trevor or Deshaun. So Cade's going to be that guy. He's going to be Trevor. He's going to be Deshaun. And he didn't handle that well last year. The dirty little secret about Cade Klubnik this year is that he's really good. He's been really good aside from the Georgia game. Okay. It's the Georgia game. It's tough competition. You want to say, oh, he hadn't done it against tough competition. So whatever, he's not that good. He's been beaten up on cupcakes. Okay, sure, fine. Last season, he went over the 8 yards per attempt mark 3 times. 3 times. And it's not like Clemson's schedule was a gauntlet last year. 3 times over the 8 yard per attempt mark. You know how many he's done this year? Out of 4 games? 3. 3 all of last year, 3 out of 4 this year. And that includes the last 2 games where, I guess, North Carolina State and Stanford, Clemson has combined for 59 points and 40 points and 66 against App State. The offense is cranking. He's thrown 12 touchdowns. He's thrown 2 picks. He's doing this newfound thing called stretching the field deep. They're on the road against a desperate Florida State team that, yes, it might be fractured, but still talented. In a weekend where there's not a lot going on. All of those things together give Cade Klubnik a spot in I wouldn't say a spotlight, but gives him the ability to say, hey, you know what? I'm here. I'm still good. Remind the entire college football world, hey, you know what? I can still be that superstar. And there's not much else to compete with in terms of overall attention paid to other games. It's the perfect spot for Cade Klubnik to remind folks that, yeah, he can be good. And here's the thing. Clemson absolutely has a chance to get to the CFP. In fact, at this point, I might be surprised if they don't. And the reason is this. When you look at what Clemson has moving forward, is the ACC really all that tough? This was supposed to be the tough game. This was supposed to be, hey, you know what? They're playing Florida State. You got to watch out for those Seminoles. Well, it turns out Florida State is subpar, to say the least. Let's look at the rest of their schedule. At Wake, does that scare you? Nah. Virginia, does that scare you? Nah. Louisville, but they're at home. At Virginia Tech, I thought it'd be big, but it's not. At Pitt, nope. Citadel, nope. South Carolina, nope. The ACC championship game, let's just say it's against Miami. Because if Clemson runs through this with 2 losses, only one of them a conference loss, getting to Charlotte should not be a problem. And all it takes is 60 good minutes. And if they don't lose to anybody the rest of the way, they could even withstand a loss. And that offense, to me, looks like it's capable. You know the defense is. That defense is fantastic. Full of athletes all over the place. Yeah, they've given up some points here and there, but whatever. A lot of it's garbage time. If they have a competent downfield passing attack, which they have shown the last 3 weeks, this team can absolutely make the playoff. It's dangerous, man. It is a dangerous football team, and nobody seems to be talking about it. But Cade Klubnik, if he shines this weekend, when there's not much else going on, it can be big. And let's be honest, the spotlight isn't just there because it's an ACC game or it's because of Clemson. It's because a lot of people like to laugh at Florida State. People are going to watch. They're going to laugh at Florida State. It's just reality. It's the reality of talking about the Noles this year. So Cade Klubnik, it's your time to shine. Sticking in the ACC, and that is a very odd segue, but also accurate. Justin Wilcox at Cal. Beat Auburn on the road. Lost to Florida State. Still, I think Cal's established itself as a pretty good team. A 3-1 team that, is not a pushover. They get Miami in the ACC battle, that storied ACC rivalry, late night. Game day is going to be in Berkeley. Emotions matter. Now, Cal is not a tough place to play by ACC standards, by East Coast standards, even by Big 12 standards. It's just not. But with game day there, with a good coach in Justin Wilcox at Cal, with better than normal talent, if Cal keeps this close, if they bottle up Cam Ward just a little bit, and they've been good defensively, if they bottle Cam Ward up just a little bit and at least put up a fight in the fourth quarter and keep people on the East Coast interested, that's a win. That's a win because people out here already know about Cal. They know about Cal beating Auburn. They know about Cal, coming over and playing Florida State close. And I know Florida State's not very good, but it opened people's eyes to say, oh yeah, that team out there, they're okay. Maybe they do belong in a Power 4 conference. It's a big stage. Game day's there. Heisman front runner and Cam Ward on the other side. Justin Wilcox, a fantastic coach. It's time to show it. It's time to shine. I can't wait to see it. I love Justin Wilcox. I think that's a fantastic, fantastic opportunity. We'll take a break. But a reminder, if you want to be an insider, a college football smothered and covered insider, join the subtext. You can get the link right below in the description, whether you're watching or listening. What does this do? Well, you get free access to me. You get updates via text message about anything that's going on. If I see something at a game and it might not be something that a lot of people are noticing, I'm going to send it out and it will be directly to you. But even better is that you have access to me. You can send me stuff. You can respond back. You can tell me how much you hate me. And it's a direct line. It's not like X, not like Twitter. It's a direct line to me. So check it out. Go in the description below. Click on the link. Become a college football smothered and covered insider. Use the promo code COLLEGE. You'll get half off. When we come back, more time to shine and a Heisman candidate that maybe some people aren't talking about. We'll do it next. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Coming right back. Today's episode brought to you by FanDuel. Hey, NFL fans, you can start the season with the big return on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. You can do it. Hey, it's your return. We're in October. You can still do this. So when you get a hunch in the middle of the game, hey, you know what? I think the second half, Tyler Algier is going to let it rip. He's going to be RB1 for the Falcons. If you feel like that, you can check the latest stats, news, play-by-play. All of that stuff is there on FanDuel, and it's on the exact same page that you place your bets. You'll get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you place your first $5 wager. That's right, $200 in bonus bets simply by placing your first $5 wager. Go to FanDuel.com, FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook. Okay, more time to shine. Ashton Jeanty. Again, sort of the same reason we talked about Cade Klubnik's time to shine. Not a lot going on. People have heard about him. Games aren't necessarily, going to be super attractive. There's not many ranked. There's only one ranked on ranked matchup. People are going to tune in to Ashton Jeanty. Yeah, it's on FS2, but it's at 7 o'clock. And I think the general public know of him because of the numbers. They know of him maybe just because it's an unorthodox name. His last name is not something you see all the time. But this might be something that, you know what, they may not watch the game on FS2. But you are damn sure they're going to be paying attention to what's going on. I don't care that he's playing Utah State. It doesn't matter to me. It's a perfect spot for folks to recognize, hey, this dude that everyone's sort of talking about, that I don't know who he is, he's pretty damn good. Even if you're only watching the cut-ins, because they're going to show him. They're going to show him. Think about this. He's at 845 yards right now. What would happen if he gets to 1,000 Saturday night? Everybody's going to talk about him. Everybody is going to talk about him. Now, is that an artificial number that doesn't mean an awful lot? Maybe. But it's 4 digits. It's something that people care about. And he might get there on the first weekend of October with not much else going on in the college football world. In prime time, where there are networks out there screaming for just something in progress to put on their halftime shows, just something in progress for their live cut-ins. Ashton Jeanty getting to 1,000 yards is absolutely one of those things. But the pressure's on. It's a great opportunity for him to take advantage. So, Ashton, it's your time to shine. It's also time for Nico Iamaleava. Everybody has talked about him, right? Like he's the superstar. He's in the Heisman Trophy race, all of this other stuff. And I get it. He deserves that attention because he's the quarterback of one of the best teams in the country. The truth of the matter is Tennessee is built on defense and running the football. Nico's just sort of been okay. Now, they let their foot off the gas against Oklahoma. I think everybody saw that. Against NC State, he was fine. But in reality, he has not been the superstar that maybe people around the country feel like he is. They're going to Arkansas. Arkansas is, erratic is probably the right way to talk about Arkansas. So it's an opportunity for him to take advantage of a defense that, I like Travis Williams. He did a great job against Auburn. He is a coach on the rise. The talent isn't necessarily there, and certainly not there to deal with everything that Tennessee brings to the table. So maybe Nico needs to remind folks, hey, I'm still that guy. I'm still that dude. I am that guy. I'm the guy that doesn't throw 2 picks against NC State. I'm the guy that's worthy of being, 6th in Heisman Trophy odds. I'm the guy who can get to a level like Jalen Milroe or Carson Beck, who can get you to an SEC championship game. I'm not the guy who's going to struggle in the face of pressure like Jackson Dart did. I love this Tennessee team. I absolutely love it. I go on Tennessee radio stations twice a week, 2 different ones, weekly hits. And I have been pounding my chest about Tennessee ever since Joe Milton opted out. This Tennessee team's going to be dangerous. This Tennessee team's a playoff contender. I've been saying it over and over and over again, and I've been saying it because of the defense and the rushing attack. Yes, Nico was part of that discussion. He needs to be more of it. And that's not to say he won't get the hype. That's not to say he won't get the accolades, the praise. The quarterback always gets the most praise. He always gets the most criticism. There's been nothing to criticize for Tennessee, so Nico gets all the praise. Good for him. But I want to see it. I want to see Nico shine, because he's got a perfect opportunity to. Big SEC game. Had a week to sort of figure things out. Figure out exactly what the offense to look, figure out what he does well, figure out what he doesn't do well. Josh Heupel has a chance to sort of adjust how that offense operates to fit his superstar. I want to see it, man. I want to see it. We will take a break. We'll talk about a big commitment coming up on the other side. But a reminder, join the subtext. You'll get full access to me via text message. You want to text me? I want to text you. I love you. So give me a shout. Sign up for it. Become an insider. I'm going to give you not only the access to me via cell phone, I'm also going to allow you to talk to me during games. If I see something unique, I'm going to send it out to my subtext group. Just you guys. It's not going to be on X. It's going to be to you guys. If you want behind the scenes stuff about what goes on in this studio or around my life in general, that stuff will be on there as well. So join that subtext group. Coming back, we'll talk about a big commitment for a team that needs some good news. It's college football smothered and covered, and of course, we are powered by Locked On. All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Deuce Knight finally commits to Auburn. I swear the dude's had an apartment on the Plains for the entire fall. He's been a Notre Dame commit, but he's basically been in Auburn every single weekend. So what was sort of assumed became reality when he committed to Auburn. And look, he's been a silent commit for a long time. That's why he's been down there. But think about this. He's been a silent commit, but Auburn needs good news. How do you get good news? You get a quarterback to flip. Even if you knew he was already going to flip, it's going to make the fan base excited because a quarterback is the problem, at least part of the problem right now. So now you're thinking, if you're an Auburn fan, and look, my family's full of Auburn fans. My 13-year-old son got back last night and was like, Dad, did you hear Deuce Nice flipped? I'm like, yeah, dude, I saw it. You think he's going to start next year? Probably. Might as well. And that's the kind of hope that he brings. And it goes back to something that I've talked to a lot of coaches. They orchestrate all this stuff, right? They want certain guys to commit at certain or announce their commitments at certain times to fully maximize the momentum of the school, the attention of the school, and the way that they want to orchestrate and show other prospects and other potential transfers where they can fit in. So Hugh Freeze absolutely orchestrated this. Hugh's known that Deuce Knight was going to Auburn the whole time. They're 2-3. Their quarterback just lost them a game. Peyton Thorne actually played well last week against Oklahoma until the final 5 minutes. Left a fan base wanting a quarterback. Now they have hope. And this kid, look, I'm not going to sit here and pretend to be a recruiting insider. You can't half cover recruiting, right? I think a lot of these folks, into the season, we start talking about early signing period, and everyone sort of has an opinion on players. Unless you've been going to camps and going to high school games, you really don't know. So I'm not going to pretend to tell you exactly how Deuce Knight fits in to Auburn's scheme, but I know he can run, and I know he's got a strong arm. And those two things typically do work well with Hugh Freeze. He likes quarterbacks who can run and stretch the field. There you go. End of recruiting analysis, because I have not seen the guy play up close and personal. I'm not going to half cover recruiting. But if some recruiting analysts are saying he can run and he can stretch the field deep, then okay, he fits into Auburn. But it's more about momentum. It's more about giving a fan base something to be excited about. And maybe a little bit Hugh saving his ass a little bit. Maybe wants to get back in the good graces of a fan base that's really pissed off at him. That might be here too. Might be at play. That'll wrap it up for this edition of the show. Reminder, join the subtext group. Join the subtext group. The link is right below, whether you're watching or you're listening. Full access to me. You can send me messages. I will respond back. You'll get them via text message or your Apple Watch right here. I get them when you guys send them back. I see them. So become a college football smothered and covered insider. Use promo code COLLEGE. And you can get in touch with me and yell at me all you want. Hey, for your second listen, go check out Locked On College Football. Spencer McLaughlin does a great job over there. The link is in the show notes below, so you can go check that out as well. We will have Friday 5 picks coming up tomorrow. And let me tell you, my Friday 5 picks, they have been remarkably average. And by remarkably average, I mean literally average, 12-12. We had a good week, though, last week. We're going to build off that momentum. We're going to pick 5 games, and I guarantee you they will be average. But if you're part of that subtext group, you can yell at me when I get them wrong. Until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody. We'll talk to you Friday.